friends, welcome back. It is Tuesday, Omni X-Men night, and we have a special show for you tonight and a huge chance to gain raffle ticket entries to our show because the man dominating that is he's stuck backstage. He's still hashtag backstage no good comic style. So you're gonna be earning a lot of opportunities tonight to win some serious raffle ticket entries for our big giveaway coming up. And it sounds like Justin's got something new to give away.
Oh, not give away, you madman. Look at this thing, John.
Look at the size of that. Oh my God.
Craziness. Anyways, I thought I'd derail the show real quick and just show this.
I don't know if you watched JD. He picked up that and several other things at the Lego store.
He had multiple things in his bag. I'm like, dude, I thought the plan was just the Thor hammer.
Dude,
so yeah, he's doing great.
And one of the biggest celebrities in the whole YouTube comic community and in our chats every Tuesday night, we got the one, the only Ryan, Magic Lasso.
What's up, Ryan?
Is it bright in here or is it her career?
I mean, it's the disco ball Dazzler lights.
That's right. I got my whole vibe going. I'm in the zone.
Love it. Love it.
So good to see you, Ryan. If you guys aren't following Lasso, obviously I've got all the links down below for these two guys, but Ryan does some really fun content, really, really entertaining stuff, breaks some great stuff down that you did not know about comic books. It's not just Wonder Woman stuff going on over there. Lots of great comic book content going on the Lasso channel. Anything that you want to highlight that's been going on recently for you in your comic book world lately, Ryan?
Well, I've fallen off the wagon. I'm not spending a lot of money on back issues this year. I've really fallen off that wagon. So that's been reflected in some videos, but it's really going to get reflected in the future. I do a weekly thing of comic book editions where I kind of show the back issues that I picked up. And today I dropped volume 89. Woo. So I'm not that far from 100. And I thought I need to do something special when I get to episode 100. And I have something planned. It's going to be, several weeks, month to 2 months or so-ish, but I've got something really special planned for episode 100, and we'll be showing some cool stuff building up to that too.
Nice.
Ooh.
So I just wanted to make sure, that I'm in the right place, first of all.
Yeah.
This is the show where if I could only have 3 of Justin's back issues in his collection, I pick out what 3 that I want, right? Okay.
And then
now, Justin, you're really into Lego, correct? I mean, I'm seeing all this.
No, not really.
Well, I got this impression. So, in keeping with the Lego theme, Lego that GSX1 and give it to me.
I see what you did there, Ryan. I see what you did there. I mean, I could maybe send you, something that resembles that GSX. No. We'll talk.
Hilarious. Let us say hello to the chat while I'm coughing. Sorry about that. We got Brandon here. What is up, Brandon Comics Kings? How you doing, brother? John's late, shocking. JP, just
JP's the best.
Just keep it up, brother. His beard is weighing him down. I mean, it does need a trim, I guess. A little bit. Good to see you, Chet.
Yes.
Jackson Roy Kirk. What is going on? It is Mardi Gras. Party is here. I'm having a little wine. Looks like there's a little liquor going on over there.
Mm-hmm.
It says No Good Comics, the Lego channel that sometimes talks comics.
Yeah,
Hey-o. Lasso is the man. The man.
Nice.
There it is.
Heck yeah.
Let's see. Lasso's channel, 80% Wonder Woman, 15% Dazzler, 5% cool stuff, 100% awesome.
Nice.
All this disco talk tonight is going to remind me of the time I went to this seafood disco, pulled a muscle. And it looks like the last one I see is Alan from Climbing Comics. What is going on, Alan? Good to see you. I also wanted to mention, I think, Ryan, you are like 10 subscribers away from, is it 700, 800? What are we at?
We're at 590, so almost at 600. So
10
away. This many fingers.
So
let's make it happen.
Definitely subscribe tonight, folks. Let's see if we can get him over that next important landmark. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome. But some great folks in the chat tonight. I'm excited to be hanging with you guys and visiting with them too.
That's the whole fun of this, right? We're just really hanging out. For those that don't know, This is the Omni X-Men, and we're breaking down the individual Claremont issues from the Omni that Justin and I have been purchasing the last few years and slowly stockpiling. We are on volume 2, and tonight we're talking about issue 148. At the end of each show, we shout out some fun trivia questions. We catalog your answers as raffle tickets, those correct and hilarious answers. And then at the end of this entire season, which it's getting near the end, we're probably thinking end of May, beginning of June will be the end of this season. We're going to do all of our giveaways. And there's some awesome stuff you could win, provided you've hung around and answered questions based on last week's episode and last week's issue. So if you hung out with us one week, come back next week, answer the trivia questions, or just be hilarious as usual, and earn yourself a shot at winning some cool stuff, like an amazing piece of original art that Justin had commissioned from Nicholas Lane over on Instagram. Or an awesome mystery box that I will cater to your needs as an X-Men fan. So a little bit of everything going on there for people. Next week we're back over on Justin's channel as a reminder, but we are taking a week off soon. It's not next week, right? It's the week.
It is.
No, it is next week.
Oh no, sorry, the 22nd. Is it 20?
I gotta double check. We are taking a week off, but I don't think it's next week. I think it's the week.
No,
after.
You're right. It's the 22nd.
So it's a few weeks away.
Yeah.
Because our friend Morbius is celebrating his 100th episode, I believe.
50th.
Sorry, man, I'm just
big
off tonight. So we are going to be with him on that Tuesday night, just as a reminder when that comes around.
That actually will work out well because you'll finish up 150 and then you'll have a break.
There you go. See, before I get into the Marvel fanfare issues, right?
Just like we planned, John. That's right.
Yeah.
Strategery. So let's start as we do with really just a quick thoughts on this issue 148. And Justin, we're going to start off with you. What are your first reactions? This is your first time reading this, right?
Yeah. This is my first time. This had a lot to it. There were a lot of different stories within this. I mean, like little bridges of them. And I think this is, I guess, kind of called a filler to some degree. I mean, there's certainly it continues on with the story of Cyclops. We're dealing with a lot of stuff going on at the mansion right now. What I liked was we learned some things about some family members. We got to see Colossus's sister, Ileana Rasputin, and we have some other guests in the way as well. I will say I wasn't crazy about the villain in this. Not really. I mean, I don't know. This was just like a week, and I don't know. And I still don't fully understand the guy or understand like his powers or whatever, but I'm sure we'll get into all that. So if I had to rate this, I would say maybe an 8.0. 8.0, I think, is where I'm kind of leaning towards. I do really appreciate just kind of the behind the scenes, like building of characters and the stories and things like that. I think it was just the villain towards the end and stuff like that was kind of weak. I don't know. Kind of where I stand. Yeah.
All right. And Ryan, what about you?
Okay. It's definitely a filler issue. I mean, what we're doing is setting up our next story arc, and we're dividing it between really the story that they're going to go forward with, and at the same time, it's kind of like we have to do some fan service at the same time. So, in retrospect, it wasn't as fun as I remembered it, because I remember having this as a back issue as a young collector, and I haven't reread it in decades, and it didn't hold up as much for me in the entertainment value in the reread, but it's still important for the sheer fact that we got the first appearance of a character that, although it's going to be a while, we're going to see again in future issues, and this character will develop a lot more. And I just think that it's just a kind of their issue.
Yep. So what would you score it as out of 10? CGC scale, sorry.
I'm going to say 7.
And I'm in that range somewhere. I think you guys are pretty spot on. I don't think I dislike it as intensely as Chet and Jackson Roy Kirk, giving it that 6.0. I'm probably in that 7 range as well. I think it's just not top tier Uncanny. I think it is filler in a lot of ways, and there's some odd creative choices going on here, despite the fact that it's got some great characters doing some not so interesting things, but does definitely set up some stuff. See, Roy Kirk says, how much longer is Rubenstein on the book? Sorry, buddy. We're you're gonna have to wait to the next omnibus to really get out of this phase.
Yeah.
What is going on? Climbing Comics saying 7.5. So there you go. He's splitting the difference right there.
And
All right, so
I'm sorry.
no,
I was gonna say, just to give you guys some type of in terms of Dazzler in the Marvel Universe by this point. So we haven't seen her since X-Men. We haven't seen her in this title since X-Men 130, 131, the 2 issues where she was introduced in. But she was pretty active in the Marvel Universe. This is her 12th overall appearance anywhere in Marvel, this issue. And, since being in X-Men 130, 131, she's guest starred in Fantastic Four, Amazing Spider-Man, and Marvel Team Up. She's made appearances there. And then she's launched her own title, which some people forget was issue 1 was the first comic book to never be available in newsstand. It was direct shop only.
Wow.
Issue 1. So there are no newsstand. They don't exist for Dazzler 1. But she was 5 issues into her own title, plus those other appearances that I met to make this her 12th overall appearance in Marvel.
What's up, Steve?
Nice.
That's cool. I didn't know that she had that many issues under her belt at this point. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Lefty Blues saying if Cyclops is in it, it's filler. Ouch. JP saying it's probably a 6.0, but Cyclops is a 5.0 on his best day. 0.5.
Oh, boy.
Shots already being fired at the guy. But let's jump right into this cover. I jokingly told Justin that we basically have to wait until the next omnibus before we get a really, truly great cover again in this run. The last week's cover I loved. I was a big fan of this. What are your thoughts on this one here, Justin?
So I'm going to just, keep it optimistic here and say that there are a lot of nice colors to this this cover. I like the choice of cover. It's very loud, obviously, very noisy, and the structure is not all there. But a big part of that is because of the villain that is in the shadows. But it is weird to have the villain be so large and focused in a sense, and yet he's in a shadow. Yep. And it's just this big purple blob. So yeah, I don't know. Like you had mentioned, like I'm a little nervous. You mentioned like moving forward, a lot of these are not necessarily what we're used to, we'll say. But it is what it is. I would say I would recognize this from far away just because it's so many colors and just I don't know the structure of it, I guess. But yeah, not crazy about it.
And what about you, Ryan? I know they took your girl and they stuffed her in a little bubble in the corner.
Exactly. And this is what I have to say with that. I think that the artist drew this cover, turned it into Marvel, and Shooter said, Dazzler needs to be on that cover. And I think the artist kind of said, well, her light effects are on the cover. And they said, Dazzler is a priority for us. She needs to be on the cover. I hate how she's part of the cover, but she's not part of the cover.
Right.
And I'm not crazy about that, especially when it's her colors and her light mutation powers that we definitely know are on the cover.
Right.
It was exciting kind of seeing an ex-ladies type cover, although that was almost a novelty, I think, at this time. I remember a Justice League issue where they had, the very few female members that they had, plus guest starring Supergirl on a cover too. And that kind of was like a little novelty. Right. And I feel like this is a page taken from that. I love the concept of it. I just wish I would love to see this cover reimagined.
Totally.
With Dazzler incorporated.
Oh, absolutely. And to your point, I totally agree that usually an X-Men cover that highlights all the awesome ladies is going to be a banger. And usually an X-Men cover that really uses color well, also going to be a success. This one just is, like a lot of the ones we're going to see coming up, busy, just way too busy. And as a result, the focus is kind of all over the place. Also, the characters, I do like the pose of that Kitty is in, where they've got her kind of dangling back as the damsel in distress. But the Spider-Woman Storm poses are a little odd. The posing is a little weird. And yeah, nobody, what is it?
Alan.
Nobody puts Dazzler in the corner, right? Nobody puts her in the little box in the corner. Shot fired from Chet. Worst Dazzler ever drawn. I mean, dang. Chaos, I'm not going to highlight that comment because I don't want to upset our guest. But I'm going to keep moving here. Says but she's not with the other gals for the most part until the very end. It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. How is a cover? There it is. How is a cover with Kitty Storm, Spider-Woman, and Dazzler on it, and it still sucks? I mean, this is the real question that we can't possibly answer.
Yeah.
So instead, we're just going to keep going.
That's why I talk about the colors. You know, they're nice colors.
They are. It's sparkly fingers.
Yeah.
So let's dive right into this crazy. Okay, we were stranded on an island. First we were on a swamp boat, escaping some burning mansion. Then we were stranded on an island in our underwear. Now we're in Atlantis. Like, what in the heck is happening here? We dive right back into Cyclops and his latest recovery bang, and they're standing outside of this epic castle here, looking ripped, like Jim Red, like just came straight from the gym to pose for this cover of these panels here. What did you think, Ryan, when you opened it up and you were like, I thought this was a Dazzler comic, right? And then you get this.
Yeah, I'm like, where's my Daz? And I don't know. I mean, these two characters right here have certainly been through a lot in very few pages, just as you mentioned. But I mean, I don't remember an acknowledgement of, oh, gee, at least this storm has ended that, I mean, that was caused actually by storm that was, affecting most of the planet. But
right.
I don't know. It's kind of like, okay, here's where we're starting. Now, as a kid, you don't question this stuff when you pull this issue. And you just enjoy. You can't wait to get to the next page. But it's just in that reread that you're kind of going, what's going on here?
Justin, how about you with this red background? The colors here just pop it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I like the splash page and everything, and I actually really like the I mean, even looking at it in the omnibus, like the background that you have here, it's across 2 pages essentially. So I don't know. I like the detail of everything. It is certainly random. I was wondering, what is exactly happening. I think that's a very appropriate gift. But yeah, I mean, a little lost otherwise for sure.
You could absolutely iron your work clothes on those abs. I mean, holy cow. I did not realize how yoked Cyclops was until I read this issue. Absolutely ripped. So yeah, they've discovered some crazy place and they don't know what's going on because like us, we don't know what's going on. This is just kind of random stuff happening with these characters. We go inside and we're kind of looking around. I got total Blue Lagoon vibes going here. So there's your Brooke Shields joy for those in my generation that may have fell in love with her this way. These 2 pages, 3 pages really annoyed me. They're happy together. Then he mentions something. Then she runs off and he's like, wait, I can't see. Did she run off? And then she immediately comes right back and everything's okay. We're good again. And then they talk a little bit, then they hug, and then that's the end of it. There's a whole roller coaster going on here that I just really didn't want to ride on. Justin,
such a perfect description, I think. I just love where you're like, what, did she run off? Or did she run off?
Look at him in that center panel. It's like right in the middle. He's even doing it. He's like, where'd you go? If you're running away, it doesn't. The silent treatment doesn't really phase Cyclops like this because he can't tell that you're giving him the silent treatment or if you left.
Yeah, I feel like we didn't really get anywhere with this. It's just like nothing was truly accomplished here, other than they kind of reveal they have feelings, they don't have feelings. Scott really is still trying to focus on his past with Jean, and then they get close at the end. I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of it. I think you nailed it.
What about you, Ryan? Any thoughts on this? I'll put it in quotes. Love story.
The only thing that I don't think has been said yet is, I mean, Cyclops is the former X-Men leader, and he's not thinking far enough ahead of if I tick her off and she runs off on me, I'm up a creek.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't forward thought that enough, and I'm like, come on, man, you're supposed to be you were the leader. You're supposed to be thinking about this stuff in advance.
No strategy.
No.
I'm glad that I'm not the only one that is a Blue Lagoon fan. So thank you to Chet and Morb, my man. We're looking forward to hanging out with you. Remind us, I think we said it was the 22nd that we're canceling this show to be with you, but I believe it was the 22nd for that. And he had a great great conversation going on about racism in comics and the different eras of comics and things. It was really a quality discussion going on.
Yeah.
It was not a brother and a sister, Jay. Come on, man. Listen to Chet. They're cousins. It's totally okay. Shout out to Chaos 8. It's my wife and my relationship, except ears are covered, not eyes. Keep it up. Cyclops not getting nothing accomplished seems typical and on brand. Gonna just keep on going here. Just keep on going. No, we're gonna jump back to New York, back to the mansion where somebody is dumb enough to be trying to sneak up on Wolverine again and try to play tag with Wolverine. Who plays tag with Wolverine? Absolutely shocking that Nightcrawler is like, you know what I'm gonna do right now? I'm gonna scare the crap out of this guy who's quick to kill me if I make a mistake. I mean, I don't hate this back and forth banter, but like, question my man Nightcrawler with this choice here. Ryan, what when you saw him making this choice for the first time, where you're like, don't do it?
Yeah, it pretty much was. And I mean, this is another thing too, where I try to guess exactly what was going on in the Marvel offices at this time. And by this time, you do keep in mind that Wolverine was really picking up popularity. Now he was pretty popular, but he wasn't to the level I would say that he is at now.
Not even close. Yeah.
But at the same time too, I think they realized Wolverine isn't in this story, and he has to be in this story somewhere because it's fan service again, and we need to show him doing something, and it just was filler.
Justin, what were your thoughts on this little moment between the friends here?
So, I mean, the way I was looking at it, I mean, they mentioned that it's like an improvised training session. I kind of like it. I kind of like the idea of it, that they're taking it out of the danger room for once and testing their abilities. Like, I mean, obviously Wolverine, he's always, you never know if he's going to take it above and beyond and legitimately use his claws or whatever, but that's just him in any scenario. But I do like the challenge of it. I think it puts both of them to the test, because at this rate, I would think that, or at this point in the story of what we've been reading this whole time, I feel like Nightcrawler should be getting pretty good at his bamfing and how he sneaks around and stuff like that. In many ways, he's sneaky, himself. So it puts Wolverine to the test of like trying to catch him. And meanwhile, he's trying to, surprise Wolverine essentially. Of course, he doesn't, he's not able to do it, but I don't know. I kind of like the back and forth here. I mean, again, it is, it's definitely like a filler, an idea of let's just get him on screen or whatever. But I do like that they kind of tagged it as a training, improvised training session.
For sure. Morbius says yes to the 22nd, and we will be there. Can't wait for it as well, my man.
Sweet. Yeah.
All right, let's continue on. We go inside the mansion, and Angel's quitting. Angel's like, screw this place. For the second time, I'm out. I'm done with this team. I can't handle this. You got this like murdering midget out there, and I don't get to do any of the cool stuff except point out where things are and pay for everything. I may be paraphrasing a little bit, but he's just like, I'm not having it.
You're spot on.
he's doing a lot of finger pointing, and then he just flies out the window. He's like, I'm flying away now, which is the only thing I really can do. So I'm flying. I'm out. Peace.
I have something to say about this.
I'm happy to hear it.
This show has failed to bring this point about, and I said I will save it until I have these two in my face to say this, because it's time for them to realize this. As I know, thank you, as many people in the chat know what I'm about to say, it's time you two learned that being pretty is a full-time job.
see, that's something that I would have known nothing about. So how would I personally know that until you tell me?
Well, now you know, and knowing's half the battle.
Yeah, let me write that down. Hold on, let me write that down. Let me get my pen here.
Angel quitting. I'm devastated almost as much as when Cyclops did. I mean, there's that. There you go. Oh, JP says, wow, what a great comic so far. Multiple pages dedicated to Cyclops and some random chick he's taking advantage, and Wolverine thrown in just because.
So I'll tell you what they missed. What they missed is the panel where Wolverine comes in and he says, "Where's Angel?" And he's like, he left. And he's like, "Oh, I never cared for him." That's what they needed.
All right. So after we got rid of the dead weight, the issue carries on with jumping down to where they're working down in the bowels of the mansion on fixing machinery. repairing stuff and playing with cute little pigtail blonde girl Ileana. I know, Justin, you've read a little bit of the Hickman era stuff and seen Magic in her current badassery. What's it like for you to see her? Like, you're getting like reverse aging on her.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, you're getting the Benjamin Button.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at least this is like the real Ileana and not that robot that we seen a couple of weeks ago. Creepy little robot,
with the creepy face.
Yeah. I like the scene. I mean, again, I know it's more filler, but I like this casualness of the team kind of working together. That scene in the middle there, like, I love that. It's such a family image where Peter has her up on his shoulders and they're just kind of laughing and Banshee's like asking, what is she saying? Yeah, I mean, it's just nice little filler, a nice way to open where I opened it up, but essentially opening up an issue.
Ryan, I know you're a pretty big Magic. I know she's no Dazzler, but you like Magic, right?
Yeah, Magic's cool.
Yeah.
But what I think is important now, this actually I think we needed in this issue, because at the end of last issue, no one ever confirms or says, the other team, the B team X-Men, actually saved your loved ones. And we needed to see that these people were saved and were reunited.
Yeah.
And we didn't get that at the end of last issue. So this is important. I just think about the poor Jean Grey's parents who probably like, what just happened to us? We don't have their daughter anymore. And we still get kidnapped.
They're always getting in some kind of shenanigans in the background, taking hostage somewhere, or watching the apartment blow up and somebody pull out a gun and start shooting people and building, teleporting machines on the roof of their daughter's apartment. It's just wild, their lives. Is this? I'm trying to remember how many appearances we've had of Ileana. Obviously, she's in Giant Size X-Men 1. That's her first appearance.
I don't have that book.
And she's technically not in the arcade storyline.
No.
That's a robot.
I think this is just her second.
Is this her second appearance or third appearance? I think there was an issue I'm forgetting. I know that Chet might know if this is her. Legitimately, this is actually the third time seeing her. And this is the most time we've really spent with her talking, interacting with Peter. Like, for me, this is like, is this first full appearance? Is this the 181 versus Giant Size being her 180? She doesn't even speak. She doesn't even speak in Giant Size. She's just rescued from a runaway tractor. That's all that she does.
I'm going on eBay right now. 9.8. Here we go.
I'm just saying, somebody's going to realize that the only value in this book might be the fact that we get to see Ileana speaking.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, Chet thinks it's the second.
So JP says third, Chet says second. I'm just saying, it's all our girl.
The Hulk 181 of Magic.
I'm saying this is an undervalued key. I'm gonna get this pressed and cleaned.
Yes, you better take care of it. Take care of it.
I have 75 copies of New Mutants 14. Great book. A lot of copies. Great book. Great book. I'm not gonna question any of the judgment though. Let's move right along to where we go inside and hey, Sean's got a daughter. Hey, we got this is Siren is kiddo, and apparently we missed a ton of stuff. This is where they're basically like, hey, by the way, you guys need to go back and read Spider-Woman. Not only one issue, but 2 issues. There's a bunch of issues. Go back and read Spider-Woman. Is basically what they're saying here. Spider-Woman's at the mansion, and people that might be reading this were going like, there's a Spider-Woman? Yeah, there's a Spider-Woman. This is one of them. And then secondly, they're like, he's got a daughter? Yeah, Banshee's got a kid. And there she is, Siren. And 2 of her costumes down below I decided to include. How do you feel about this reveal, Ryan? Because this feels botched to me.
It does. And for those that are wondering, by the way, it's Spider-Woman 37 and 38. Are the 2 issues that you need, and that's Spider-Woman's introduction to the X-Men, how they know each other is from that, and of course after this she'll be hanging with them in Avengers Annual 10.
And I mentioned it at the end in the info for this issue, kind of like what 2 Spider-Woman issues you want to read. But yeah, thanks for shouting those out. And if you're a fan of Siren and you want her first appearances, then those are the ones to hunt down.
Yeah, it feels very forced. So it's like, okay. It also kind of feels like maybe if we throw Spider-Woman in here too, we can get her sales up. because Spider-Woman 37, which is the issue that I mentioned, the first of this two-parter, that was the first issue of Spider-Woman that went from monthly to bi-monthly. So sales were definitely down. And you notice that she shows up in the book that's selling really well.
Oh, Jackson Roy Kirk says, good. Those are the only 2 issues of Spider-Woman that I have. Justin, does this for me feels like classic? I can sense the editor's fingers like messing with the story.
Totally. Yeah. This was, I didn't know that this was, this is definitely a surprise to me. Obviously I'm, reading all this for the first time. I don't know very much about his daughter Siren. I think I've read one comic where Siren was a thing, and I think it was in a more recent. I don't even know if it was Hickman though. I think it was Siren in Hickman stuff.
She's been a little bit in there, but not.
Maybe
I don't
that's
know that
where
she's been a part of a significant team. For me, she was always the like X-Force member. She was a part of Liefeld's X-Force.
Okay, yeah. So I think I only read like one issue about her, but I have to laugh because I was laughing before we went live, like right as we were about to go. So there was when I had first like kind of glanced through this issue before I really dove into it. I misinterpreted what had happened. So I was reading all the stuff on the left, and then it goes right into that scene on the right, top right hand corner where we see Spider-Woman. And for whatever reason, my mind was like, wait, so Spider-Woman is his daughter? Wait, how does that work? I was like, what? Wait, how? I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, I was like, legitimately,
she doesn't even have red hair.
But her hair was blonde hair, and now she puts the wig or puts the mask on, and now it's like I was like, hold on, let me go back and reread this thing.
It's retcon. They retconned it later.
Yeah, I was like, this is really dramatic. So I don't know much about Siren, but as you guys mentioned, I guess we don't get a lot of her even in these next, or we don't hear from her in a while. So
she doesn't seem to play a big part for, at least in my memory, till I think she even shows up a little in the New Mutants, but mostly it's for me like she became a big deal in X-Force.
Okay,
later on.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Am I right on that, Ryan? Is that how you remember?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. What is up? Just a little podcast cookie. What's going on, man?
Hey, man.
Good to see you. And so my least favorite part of this whole thing is this, like, in the center, right next to that white square, you see Professor Xavier with this big smile on his face. And for me, it looks like the end of a really bad, like, 80s sitcom where he's like, smiling, and they're like, pause the frame so the credits can roll up, and you're like, this is the middle of the issue, why are we having this moment? On top of which, if you look at the background, you get Moira going, wait, that's my boyfriend. Who's he banging on the side? He's got a baby mama, and she's running out, so she's bailing on this whole thing. She's like, I'm done with this. And the only people who notice, Sean Cassidy, by the way, handles brand new fatherhood reveals way better than anybody I've seen on Jerry Springer. Nobody on Jerry Springer reacts like this. When they're like, you are the father, they're like, I'm out. I'm flipping chairs over and freaking out. This guy's like, you're my dad. And he's like, really? I've always wanted a teenager. Nobody reacts like this. This is ridiculous. Moira runs off. She's like, I've got this horrible haircut and I'm dealing with this now and I'm out. She's running out. Storm and Spider-Woman are chasing her and they're like, wait, what's wrong? What's wrong? Do you even need to ask this question? They're like, Moira, what's wrong? You should know her by now. You should know that this is real. She's the only one who's treating this like the moment that it really is.
Yeah.
I'm dying. So for me, I was reading this going, this is world gone mad. I don't know. Yeah. I don't even know how to handle this.
You're spot on, John.
I'd be more worried that Moira was going to get her guns. She could be packing there.
That's what we needed her to go, right to the armory. Straight to the armory.
And, if I was not the guest on the show right now, if I was in the chat right now, this would be the portion where I probably would type in there, I'm not saying that Banshee's a freak in the sheets, but he's a screamer.
Hey-o, there it is. Dude. That's what we really
But the conversation there with Storm and Moira, that is interesting just for the fact that they're flat out saying, if you haven't picked up on it, that Storm has a little bit of jealousy towards Kitty's dance teacher.
Yes, they had that earlier.
Yeah, she's been dealing with
they're
that.
flat out saying that, and I kind of always felt like that was going to be a thread that they were going to pull out a little bit more in the future, but I don't remember them doing that.
No, it really just it petered out to nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, man.
So look,
I thought something was still building up for that.
Jackson Roy Kirk, Moira was heading to get a gun. So there you go. Like she was going to the armory. I mean, it's totally possible. Lefty Blues says there's a great Chris Claremont documentary on Prime where he goes through how they kept making new books and he didn't want to let go. So there you go. Chet says confirmed 146 was the robot, not the physical. So this is the second actual appearance of Ileana. There you go. Look at me specking. I'm specking. I'm a spec channel. This is all spec.
It's 181, baby, all over again.
Siren was in the most recent X-Men vote for who could join the team. Yeah, but she didn't. Obviously, she failed. Epic fail. And Banshee gets a daughter for reasons. Maury Povich just called for you, John. There you go. I'm all about it. And my awesome friend Rod the Weekend. I appreciate you coming by, my man, Rod. I hope I hope that the show went well tonight. Lamer Frame. You guys got to catch it every Tuesday. Make sure you're watching Lamer Frame. Let's jump in and see where this all goes next. No, we're jumping to Darkman. And that episode of Darkman where Liam Neeson is climbing out of sewer drains and running away from shooting guns and wears really mismatched clothing that doesn't really what the yellow hat and the green cape and the purple mask and then we go to the club, this crazy disco club where I really wanted Scarface to be dancing with all of our characters.
Great choice.
We got a lot happening here. We got a lot. They go straight from all this drama at the mansion straight to the club and have the bad guy climbing out from the sewer grates. Sorry. What about all this chaos here, Justin? What are your thoughts on all this action?
I want to know if this is Scarecrow's first appearance in a Marvel book. Or if that's
he would never dress that badly.
Because
yellow and green, come on.
He's got this. It's like a straw hat, you know. It's a straw. No, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Like I said, this is definitely like just a character I wasn't very interested in. I mean, we get to know a little bit more about him, but he's just a loner. It just seems like he's just I don't know. And he's trying to steal people and. The party seems like it's popping though,
and it's very unusually designed. Like the layout of the party. What do you think of that whole design, Ryan? The look of the party, the clothes. I don't know what Storm's wearing. She looks like she's going to her, like an important event in Wakanda.
I don't know. That's reflective to me of the times as a little kid. That's what I remember. I mean, getting dressed up and going out on a Saturday night, but you only went out after Carol Burnett was over. And then you went out and being dressed up to the nines and dancing, that was such a thing here. But essentially with the page before, and we see this creature coming out of the sewer and we got the party next, this just screams to me, watered down Beauty and the Beast.
I mean, that's not inaccurate. And ultimately, I'm going to argue Darkman is a Beauty and the Beast fable. So yeah, I'm a big Darkman fan. If anybody doesn't know, Liam Neeson and Frances McDormand, and I'm sure Justin's like, I've never heard of this movie. Sam Raimi, the Spider-Man filmmaker. This is one of his earliest movies, Darkman. Liam Neeson plays a scientist who gets horribly scarred, but he can build these masks to look like anybody, and he goes about trying to get punishment on the people who did this to him. Frances McDormand plays his ex, and she thinks he's dead, and he's got to try to do all. It's very comic booky, but a phenomenal little movie. And
sounds great.
I just used up a whole minute of our
sounds great.
Well, poor Justin has no idea who Carol Burnett is. Then
I was gonna say I didn't even go that deep. I went 80.
A lot of references on the show today. I'm just like, now I know who she is, but yeah, it's
Carol Burnett is
definitely. Yeah.
See, my man Chet knows. He knows what's going on. He knows what's going on.
Well, even the lagoon comment in the beginning, I was like, yeah, not sure.
Blue Lagoon. Yeah, I mean, two cousins wash a store on an island, fall in love, and make a baby. It's awkward. Moving on, we got Disco Dazzler. Ryan, take it away.
Hey.
It is show time, and she is the main attraction. The ladies have been been invited as VIP guests. So the show's starting. The audience is mesmerized by these light effects. How do they do that? And no other act has this lighting like she does.
Now, Ryan, I want you to know, I went and found 2 Diana Ross gifts for you. Look at the far one. She's wearing basically the same outfit Dazzler's wearing. It's got armbands like Dazzler, no sleeves. It's one long piece.
I love it.
That costume is clearly Diana Ross, man.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
And keep in mind, she's on the roller skates too.
I was so excited about this gift. I just want you to know.
Thank you. I love it. I feel the love.
Justin, I mean, I know you're still here, right?
Yeah. That's so I just like the part where there's like the police officers are shooting a gun and the women are like talking like, was that a gun? And Kitty's like, shush, she's on. Dazzler's on right now.
Right. They're like, no, I'm enjoying the show. Like, music. Like, I'm at the club. I'm not an X-Men right now. Yeah, I'm not an X. They're very opposite of like Superman, who's like, I think I heard something. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And the X-Men are like, but I'm at the club.
No concern.
I don't get to go out much.
Yeah. Nice to see Dazzler up on stage once again.
Yeah, Lefty. I don't need to see the second and third Darkman movies. When you lose Sam Raimi and Liam Neeson, what is the point at that? Well, yeah, there's no reason at that point. Yeah, she's got the moves. Look at the hips. Come on, make it work. Make it work, Cookie.
All in the hips.
Yep. And everyone always consistently loves her singing too. There's never a comic book where someone just goes, "Yeah, she's okay." Everyone is like, "She's good."
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the big mutant superstar. That's what she is.
I feel like she's one of the only mutants, at least in this time, where like she's actually just using her powers for herself and like living off that and having nothing to do with saving the world or anything like that. I feel like there's not a lot of other mutants that choose that. I know that Polaris and them, they tried that, but they still got pulled in.
Interesting comments about how could Kitty Pryde get into the club.
That's a good point.
I mean, she can go through walls. People.
She just snuck in. Yeah.
She just went through a back wall into the bathroom and was like, "No, I'm in the club." Like, no, who's gonna stop me now? There's no bouncer in the club. They're on the outside of the club.
Yep.
That's what mutant powers are all about. So it really begs the question: does Storm even give a crap? Storm's like, "No, come on into the club, girl.
Yeah,
let's do this." So let's move right along to now they really do hear gunshots and Storm's like, okay, we have to get out. We have to get over there. We really can't keep listening to the music. We got to go.
One more song.
Kitty Pryde's like, I'll just, disco my way out of here and go straight into costume through the floor and just moonwalk her way over to this problem. She transitions into costume pretty quickly here, Justin. Did that spring any warning bells for you?
I feel like it's something about Claremont and just having his characters change quickly has like been a thing. I mean, ever since we learned that from Jean having the legitimate power to be able to do that, and then we've had this ever since. Cyclops changing, Wolverine having multiple different options, Wolverine being naked and then coming back and having clothes again, like. It's a theme within the Claremont run. I feel like, so I'm not surprised at this point.
I mean, clearly, Cyclops stuck on Blue Lagoon needs to learn a little sewing skills because he's stuck in those tiny shorty jeans shorts. Lasso, any thoughts, Ryan, on Kitty Pryde's quick costume change?
Well, I mean, she said she had the costume in her purse. I mean, how big is that purse? But also, what I'm wondering is, Jessica Drew obviously is the fashion plate here. I mean, look at that V cut on that outfit, and
it's the deepest of V's.
When Jessica Drew, who at this time was based in San Francisco, when she's like, okay, I'm going to go see I'm going to New York to see the X-Men. Was she like, I need to pack me some disco outfits in case I decide to go out in the town? Or did she just go shopping before this when she found out she was going?
These are the important questions readers want to know. That woman picking her nose, it is the first appearance of Snot Girl. I do agree. It must be. She has that ring. She has this ring, right? And she makes that's where I was going. We have Eric Azores, my man. Good to see you, Eric. I hope things are going well for you. Jessica Drew is always dressed to kill. Facts.
I think she's drawn really well too, by the way.
I mean, let's really get into that here because boom, everybody's in costume now. Dazzler's just singing. Dazzler's just I'm gonna just sing a song. Everybody needs a distraction, so I'm gonna make sure people don't notice any of the costume changes that people are making in the middle of the club. My music will distract you. That's what I bring to the game here is distraction. You're not looking at, well, the one hand does this, the other hand it's art of distraction.
She's like a magician.
Yeah, right. Is that how you saw it, Justin?
Yeah. I don't know. This whole thing was just a little, I don't know. Yeah, just like, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about this whole scene. It is a scene. It's a scene. It's a scene. I don't know. She's using her powers, and yes, it works. And
I love that she's never using her powers to actually fight the bad guy.
Right,
she's using her powers as like, I'm just gonna keep clubbing. We're gonna, players got to play. Don't hate the game, right?
Yeah.
Hate the player. Like, don't. That's the opposite. Flip that around. Ryan, what are your thoughts on this moment here?
You stop singing, you don't get paid. You don't get paid, you don't have rent.
It's true,
right?
It's true.
You can't walk out on those stadium fees.
Yeah.
You get charged.
It's valid,
right?
Yeah.
Raging Cajun in the chat. I'm surprised he's able to still get on the internet if he can pay that internet bill after all the Legos he freaking bought at Disneyland today.
My man.
Yeah. What's up, JD? Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, man.
I also wanted to highlight this page is the last time we really see Jessica Drew from the front, because get ready for our egregious booty shot counter, folks. We are going to count down all the unnecessary shots where we get booty in this issue. If you're a booty fan, this might be a key comic book that you really want to collect. Take a look at this panel directly to my side here. I have not seen a more egregiously drawn booty page than that right there. Look, you got Storm, count one. You got one more down there, two. Then we're going across far to the side. You got another couple of booty shots over there. We got 4 on this one page. Booty everywhere. Did anybody but me notice this, or am I just a complete perv?
No, I'm glad that you pointed this out, that you're actually counting. I didn't count them, but I do remember thinking like, man, this seems to be a lot. Like, I'm looking at it now, and I legit see, yeah, there's a good amount that come up. I'm just like,
I got you. You don't need to count them. I got the counter going. There's a counter on the side there. We're gonna tally as we go along.
So as I was mentioning before, like, I really like how Jessica Drew has been drawn throughout this series, like as with her face, not with the mask. And then when I go to revert to like the mask scenes, there's not as many. There's more of like the backside for whatever reason. But so yeah, that's interesting.
Ryan, did you notice this too, or is it just the messed up brains of the two of us?
The answer is yes and yes. So yes, you are a pervert. I'll call you a prevert. And yes, it's noticeable, and yes, you are.
So yeah, I guess we're fighting the bad guy here. All I see is like, look, let me bend over a little bit this way. Let me bend over that way. Let me just give you everything you want, so that you're like, you know what? I got to pick up some Spider-Woman comics later this week.
Well, it's what Ryan, you were mentioning earlier, that like they're like, yeah, they're trying to get some sales up, and they're crossing these two together. Maybe that played a part with it as well. I don't know.
I don't know. They did that a lot in her comic book too. But I will say one thing I'll say about Spider-Woman though, and you know how every company loves to change their character's costume. She's one of the few ones who got a good costume in the beginning, and they pretty much have stuck to close to the original. You don't see that there's not a lot of people still wearing essentially the same costume from when they started.
And she is somewhat notorious for booty drawings. I will also say that, because the new Avengers run that she's in has several amazing show covers that are like, let's just show booty. And of course, the cover that was done where she's like in a really awkward pose that ended up having to get scrapped because it was so egregious that people were like, okay, you know what? This is really the joke was you would never put Peter Parker in that pose. He's wearing basically the same costume. So it's kind of like they're setting us up early just for the life of this version of Spider-Woman. Okay. Buckle up.
Can I also just add too? I know zero things about Spider-Woman. Zero.
Okay.
Zero things.
Well, now you know at least a couple of things.
A couple. Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds to me like Justin needs to hit the Disney Plus because the entire first season and the only season of Spider-Woman is streaming on there. And yes, Spider-Woman had her own cartoon the same year I think that this comic book came out.
Wow.
They were really trying to push that, agenda. They got the Dazzler comic, they got the Spider-Woman comic. There's a lot of synergy happening here in this issue. Interesting. Chet saying I gotta leave. I'm out of here, guys.
Oh.
Yeah, some people take advantage. Chet and Lasso both out. We're gonna get a lot of people with some options here tonight.
Yeah.
Just to let you so yeah, we got 2 more egregious booty shots. If you jump over there, even when she's coming straight at us, they still give you the booty in the background on that one. And Dazzler's still making the music. Look at her. She's like, I'm gonna hit a couple switches, change the background lighting, and legitimately dazzle all these crazy white folk. Look at the young Republicans there looking at her. Just washed. They're just washed over.
It was like, it reminded me of like Hocus Pocus, where like they just were there to keep dancing. The parents were they couldn't leave.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
So they're employing a classic Dazzler trick that they've used a lot by this time, where the band isn't playing anymore or the sound has disappeared, but Dazzler still needs to use her powers, which are coming from the sound. So she has to create some type of a sound somewhere.
Right.
She has this momentary dilemma where I need to get some type of sound going so I can use these light powers. This recipe right here is in almost every appearance of Dazzler between the last time I was on the show and this time, and will be going forward for a while.
Absolutely. Hey, she's still performing in Krakoa right now, man. She's still jamming in Krakoa.
I like that Kelly said, "Is that Hugh Grant?"
I mean, legit. It's fair. It's absolutely fair. Principal Skinner's working it. Yeah, he is. And so Stromboli there. That's Stromboli from Pinocchio there.
Nice.
Letting you have it. Let it have it. So now we're at 6, but we're gonna really take it up on this page. Every single come on, folks. It is egregious. It is that's the word that I'm choosing for this. There's so many panels where it's like, why are we doing it from this angle? Because it's booty, people. It is booty. And the shocking reveal here is that this is a really somewhat sad and pathetic mutant known as Caliban. Hey, it's this really pale, alien-looking, bald mutant known as Caliban. By the way, those of you that have seen the movie Logan,
I was going to ask. Okay.
That's the mutant that is tracking Logan and friends with Logan at the beginning, taking care of Professor X in the movie Logan, is Caliban. And here's his first appearance.
So this is a major key. You didn't say this. I didn't realize that this was his first.
I mean, I thought it was a key for many reasons.
There are many reasons.
Second appearance of Ileana Rasputin.
So I think they did a pretty good job then. Now that I know that that's from the guy that played Logan and how he looks here, on the screen there, those 2 middle panels where you really get to see his face. Well done. Yeah. I want to go back out to watch that again now.
There you go. Look, see, we added something, Ryan. We helped out. We saved somebody.
You're connecting some pieces, yeah.
I prefer to call it Ileana's appearance the first affordable appearance.
There you go.
So, but essentially, what he's doing is he knew that there were some mutants in there, and he's lonely, and he wants friends, and he thought if he took Kitty with him down to the sewers, he would have a friend. And like you said, it's actually quite sad in the end because he's not doing it with malicious intent.
Right.
He's not socially adept, and he's lonely.
And nothing like kidnapping the only mutant who can go incorporeal and just float right out of your hands. Like any of the other mutants, buddy. Any of the other mutants.
Yeah, terrible choice. Terrible choice.
You really picked the wrong one. I'm just saying. Huge key. Second magic. First Caliban, and so many the booty per panel. That is a really significant percentage that you really can't overlook.
And you get the tag scene from Wolverine and Nightcrawler. So
there you go,
playing tag.
And moving right along, we have to finish with yet another captain. Look at this captain pose. Tell me, Justin, there's no way you got to this page and we're like, I know exactly what gift John's gonna do.
Yeah, no, this is I'm not gonna delete this this GIF anymore. I'm just gonna drag it to the back of the slide so you can reuse for other future times that we run into these scenes.
I mean, yeah, this creative team clearly loves the captain. They are Captain Morganing this entire series now. They're like, John Byrne was good, but he didn't have any captain in him. Yikes. So everything's back to normal. Everybody's friends now. Apparently they didn't let Caliban back into the club because it's just the ladies clubbing now. But forget all of that because we're jumping back to this crazy island city only to find out that it's Magnetoville.
Yeah. So one thing about the ladies are back partying again. I just picture the scene where they're talking to Caliban, explaining things. And I just picture that scene ending with like, hey, so, we can continue our friendship and we'll figure things out. And he's just like, oh, great. And they all start walking back and they're like, oh, no, not right now. Like, we're going into the club. You have to, I don't know what you're going to do, but you're not following us.
I picture them walking by the bouncer going like, look at all these hotties. Yeah, you're allowed in. No dudes. Click.
Yeah. Put the hashtag still backstage on that guy.
Yeah, no dudes allowed. You gotta wait.
So this legitimately was exciting to see Magneto because I didn't know, again, just first time reading it, was not sure what to expect, how this was going to end. I didn't know if Caliban was going to continue to be a thing, what the direction was. So really exciting to see this reveal at the end. I'm pumped for whatever's coming next issue.
Ryan, any thoughts on poor Caliban's fate here at the end?
Well, I mean, like I said, in the end, you tug at the heartstrings, and it's actually quite sad what he's going through.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
How they handled it, is kind of like, okay, we're getting towards the end of this issue. We still have to devote some time for Scott. You're done. And then I couldn't help but think, and this is only a minor spoiler for next issue. But here Kitty gets kidnapped in this club, and I can't help but think she goes home and says, I almost got kidnapped by this guy that lives in the sewer. I'm going to decorate the ugliest costume that I could ever wear in my life, and next issue I'm going to put it on.
That's a logical step, right? I went through some trauma. My reaction is
costume.
Fashion.
Yeah. But I do love the Magneto reveal at the end because it's been a minute since he's been in X-Men. So
it is an exciting moment. I'm sure, like Justin, when you got to that page, you were like, "Oh, sweet, we're gonna get Magneto."
This is where I'm being new to all this again is like this is the stuff I'm really looking forward to is being surprised by what's to come and getting these major characters back.
Yeah.
So.
Don't be surprised, Lefty. You were here now. You just got to keep track of some of this exciting booty questions for next week.
That's right.
Let's get into some of the facts here. First appearance of Caliban. Third appearance of Teresa Rourke Cassidy Siren. Previously seen in Spider-Woman, 3738. And apparently I needed to add Ilyana Rasputin's second appearance. And Angel quits the X-Men again.
First full, John. First full.
Finally.
First affordable.
First affordable.
Shout out to Chet. When you watch this on the rewind, there is a 9.9 of this book floating around out there. Last sold in 2019 for $1,600. I think that might have gone up a little bit. Hard to know. 253 9/8 for a fair market value of $230. 308 9/6s, $120 fair market value. And then it goes down a little off the rails there. I'm sure this book will spike after this episode of the Omni X-Men. Justin, can you explain the EKG meter? Because I don't understand what's going on there.
No, not really. The only thing I was really sending that to you was the bottom, the 90-day average and the 1 year.
Okay, then hook me up there. What are you saying? 90-day average 245.
Yeah.
But 1 year average 200, which is how we got our fair market value of 230 for a 9.8.
Yeah. So and it hasn't been sold in 30 days. So, but remember how our old one had like all that information in one line. They did an update. So
gotcha.
The graphs are just for looks.
It's like spiky. Ooh. Dude, look, there's it's math. Somebody did some math.
By the way, I scrolled back up because I wanted to double check. But I saw earlier, Chet said. For this book, not graded, not signed, probably not even newsstand at this point in my life. I need more John Byrne, is what he's.
See, I wasn't gonna point that out, but heck yeah.
Yeah.
My copy is pretty nice. I mean, I'm gonna slab it for
Nice.
sure. Faux show. Once they put that Ileana Rasputin's second appearance or first full appearance.
They better.
This is the book. This is the book. Perry is in the chat. What's up, Perry?
What's up, Perry?
Good to see you.
What's up, Barry?
So, gentlemen, any final thoughts here on issue 148?
Just love the colors they use on that cover. It's great.
We're back.
I didn't realize until just this last panel when you showed the cover again. But here we have Angel leaving the team, and if you notice that he's pretty much colored out by the shadow of Caliban and that little corner box.
Wow, but so is Nightcrawler, and he didn't.
Yeah, but he's dark complected anyway.
Yeah, you wouldn't notice because he could just
but so that was interesting. So I kind of at the beginning of the show kind of gave you an overall of where Dazzler was in terms of Marvel. So going on from this issue, her next appearances are in her own title. So it's Dazzler 6 and Dazzler 7 that she makes her next appearances in the Marvel Universe. And her next guest appearance will come in Avengers issue number 211. That's a story where Moon Knight has kind of put a spell over several different superheroes to show up the Avengers Mansion to become prospective Avengers to join the team. And she makes an appearance in there and ultimately decides she doesn't want to be part of the Avengers. You know, she was under this influence. But so we had the two appearances before during the Dark Phoenix saga of Dazzler. We have this appearance of Dazzler now. In the actual X-Men comic book, we will not see Dazzler in this comic book again until issue 210, which is 1986.
Dang.
Oh, wow.
So while she's in the MCU and other places, and some of the X-Men are coming into her book and other titles that she's in, but her being actually in this book is issue 210.
Which is like, you know, season 4 or 5 of the Omni.
Well, I was just going to say, what
anybody
year,
that wants to know.
what year was this? This technically
This is 80, I think.
81. 81.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he's 80.
Yeah. So then
Wow.
it's
That's a long time.
86, so it's 5 years. But that's another reason why I know I wore my Dazzler shirt the last time I was on here, but that's why I wore it again today, because you don't get all the opportunities to wear Disco Dazzler.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Love it.
I got that 129 right there. There's the little thing right there.
The X-Flex. Whoa.
I keep that stuff ready because whenever I see JP, I have to let him know.
Yeah, me too. I got. Oh.
Beckerman, what's going on? It says, when did she meet Longshot? That's a while. You got a while for that. Look at that. Yeah. See, we're flexing so much here. He's got to put the shades on. He's got to there's a lot of brightness happening here. Star power. We're at the 1 hour mark. We would all like that, Perry. And we are going to do our trivia questions based on issue 147 from last week when we were on Justin's channel. When you watch this show, tune in the next week and you can answer the trivia questions. And tonight is the perfect opportunity. We are missing 2 of the champs at trivia. Ryan, who is going to be giving away points tonight to whoever has the funniest answers to our trivia questions.
Yep.
And Chet, who decided that personal health is more important than YouTube. So those 2 are gone.
What a loser.
Opens up a lot of options for those of you in the chat. We're going to ask 4 questions about issue 147 and the show we did over on Justin's channel. We're looking for the first 2 correct answers. They will get raffle tickets. And Ryan is going to pick the funniest answer each round, and you will also get a raffle ticket. These entries will give you the chance for when we do our finale. We're giving away original art, we're giving away comics, mystery boxes, slabs. We are giving it all away.
Yep.
All right, Justin.
We're giving away Rachel dinners.
That's right.
You want to kick us off, Justin?
Sure. All right. My first question is, how does Colossus learn to sneak around the lasers? What does he do to test out the lasers from last issue? Something that he does.
Colossus was trapped in one of Doom's arcade situations and had to get out of those lasers. How did he figure out a way to get out of those?
Yeah. Remember, we're looking for the correct answer twice, and we're also looking for a comedy answer.
Oh, poor Colossus.
It's kind of a layup. I feel like it's kind of a layup for comedy, at least.
If you've read the issue, then I think that's pretty straight up. We only got 14 people there.
Definitely. Yeah, no, that's true.
I know.
I know you know, but you don't get to play.
I don't get, and next week I'm only playing comedy too, since I was on this episode. So
there you go.
We got 4 comedy answers, and nobody's like, I don't play the real answers. Ryan and Chet do the real answers.
Yeah,
we do the comedy answers. So we got throws Nightcrawler at them, looks at Spider-Woman's booty and becomes invincible, gets hit to see if they hurt, turns human. I don't know. We have yet to get a correct answer, but we got 4 comedy answers. How does Colossus figure out a way around those lasers? We might not get any correct answers on this one.
Like
I didn't read that issue.
Like some like one of the guesses is like close, like the direction, like it's not. It's
one is almost there.
Yeah, one is answering how he actually gets around them. But my question is, how does he test the waters? Like, how does he first figure out? How these lasers work, or how
we're getting more
around.
Comedy answers. Studies Catherine Zeta-Jones is by dipping below the laser beams. Crawls on the ground. This might be one of my favorites. First time caller. That's all it is. That's all it is. I love that Alan's like he's doing the I'm Ron Burgundy. Like, I'm just going to throw a question mark on the end.
See,
like,
some of you guys are answering what he actually does to get around the lasers, but what does he do to figure out, oh, that's how I can get around the lasers? Like, what is he? What is it that gives?
Out?
Yeah, what is he gains that information somehow before he just goes and essentially swims? What was the strategy that he used? Yeah.
I don't think that's what it was. I don't think that's what it was. He spits with a Z. He spits with a Z.
Oh man. Well, John, we
blows dust to reveal the beams.
We can let Ryan. You want to take a funny answer here for now, and then maybe we just pass this one.
Okay, there's been some great answers, and I thought I had one until I saw this one come through, and it's so random that first time caller has to get the point for that, because that sounds like
the random
I would say.
It's so off.
So random.
Right.
That has to get a point.
There you go.
Nice.
So,
and I hope it wins a prize just for that.
So Cali Comics, thank you, my man, and we are giving you a raffle entry, my sir. The correct answer was Justin, you want to explain?
Well, all right. So we're not giving points out then, right?
Apparently, nobody got points for the correct answers. No correct answers.
Right. All right. So he takes pieces of the rock that he's on and throws them past the laser to see when they would shoot it, and he learns that the larger rocks are the ones that are shot at, and the smaller ones they ignore. So that's how he figures out, okay, if I just stay in human form, then like some people guessed human form or they turned human. Like it's not the answer we were looking for. The idea of like him throwing, he
throws down small pieces of rock and finds out if it doesn't hit them.
Yeah. At that point, Alan.
I think you might have been a little late on that, Alan.
Tiny late.
So what we're going to do? We're going to deduct points from people that are on the scoreboard, right? We're going to take points away now.
I think Ted Lasso would say, "That's a great point. Not a minute too late."
There you go. By the way, to answer aggressively relaxing question, I missed the memo, man. I don't know what happened, man. It's not right.
Epic fail, as always. Nigel is here.
Nigel,
good to see you, brother. Just in time.
What's up, Nigel?
I just didn't want both points on the board. I get it, Callie. Yeah, you don't want to take all of them. You don't take all of them. My question is, where did I write them down? Are they on the other side here? Credit. Oh yeah, sorry. Storm, for most of the last few issues, has been frozen in sort of a chrome form. So what is the first word Storm says after escaping from this chrome form? What is the first single word that she screams out after escaping from this Doctor Doom trap.
I love your.
That's the
you're
pose.
like
She's in that pose. She's
Yeah,
in that
yeah.
pose. That's the pose. That's the pose. I mean, that's the best I can do. And Stan Lee is cheering you guys on, right? Thwip, 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 thwip. Let's get in this. Let's get it.
So great.
I think at some point, Alan, you got to have more faith in yourself to say the word without a question mark. I'm surprised this wasn't right here. I was expecting Nigel.
Yeah. Probably a typo.
I think you need that question mark. You need that question. Here are some of comedy answers. Was it doom? Was it oil? Was it freedom? Like I'm picturing Mel Gibson in Braveheart. That's what I don't know anybody else. Goddess. You son of a, I wanted one word, so it really would have been you, I guess, in that one. Booty. I mean, you guys, I really just
That's this issue. That's this issue.
Damn. What? There's usually an N on the end of that, Bobby. There's an N. He did not scream Alan.
No, Nigel.
He did not scream Alan. Nigel.
Not close there.
That's not it. So far, we've had one correct answer. Please show me to the bathroom is not it.
Bobby.
Sprite. Mohawk. We've had one correct answer. It's really, if you're watching, it's the only one I didn't click on. Just so you know. Lasso.
That's a strategy.
Okay, so now we've got two correct answers. There
we go.
I guess it's
free
and free. So we've got JP and we've got Alan from Climbing Comics. Where are you climbing? There you are, Alan.
Nice.
Those are the two correct answers. A lot of comedy happening here.
A lot of good ones.
Adrian.
That's a good one too.
And Assemble. Geeky Mama Bear. Nice to see you in the chat. I hope you're having a great Tuesday night. All right, Ryan, what was your favorite?
Oh, man.
This is tough, Ryan.
Ones. Yeah, this one's tough.
This is a comedy chat. They're like, we don't want the correct answer. That's this chat right now. They're not having it.
I was waiting for someone to say Khan, but the closest I got to Khan was Adrian.
Adrian, there you go. So Geeky Mama Bear, what is going on? You just got a raffle ticket entry.
Nice.
She is one of my pop comic book friends.
Awesome.
Geeky Mama, you are now entered into our raffle for the giveaway that we're doing at the end of May, beginning of June somewhere. So be ready for that. This is Troll Tuesday.
Yeah.
So good. All right, Justin, we're halfway through the questions. I know it's taking a little while. What do you got?
I am very entertained right now. Very entertained. I'm still laughing at Bobby's answer. Please show me to the bathroom.
I mean, she probably had to go. It's probably been a couple of days.
All right. My second question is, what does Arcade have to do to Doom in order for the X-Men to take Arcade with them?
Yeah. Because Doom doesn't want to let Arcade go.
Yeah, there's something that
Doom has a request.
A request. Yeah. That Arcade has to do something to Doom in order for the X-Men to take Arcade without Doom having any issues with this.
This question might make me lose my YouTube channel, depending on the comedy answers that we get. I'm just buckling up. Right now. I can almost hear the furious fingers tapping the little iPhones everywhere. Polish his armor.
All right.
Is that a euphemism?
Yeah.
If you have to ask, you can't afford it.
True.
I don't know what that word. Yiltu. I don't know. But we have two correct answers. Apologize.
Nice.
And apologize from Claiming Comics. Climbing and Azores.
Yep.
So Alan, I got you. And let's see, Azores, I got you. And let's continue along. Oh, JP. Too slow. Too slow. You're about a 0.5 off. That was a X-Men 129 joke. Yeah. So we're still waiting for a couple more comedy answers. While we're waiting, Justin, you want to do your final question?
That was it.
Oh, that was your final question. So
my
final question.
Yeah.
Jeez, I'm really having an off night. I'm enjoying this too much.
Sorry, John. I actually thought you've had an on night the entire night. I've been cracking up at all your descriptions. It's been great. It's been great.
An oil change and a lube job, giggity. So 62. My final question is: what does Logan do when he comes face to face with Storm as a Doombot? Doom has created a Storm. We called her the Fembot, Storm Doombot, and Logan comes face to face with Aurora as a Doombot. What does he do? What does he do? Did you have a favorite comedy answer here, Ryan? We got touch.
I really like Beckerman's answer. If you have to ask, you can't afford it.
There you go.
I like that. And by the way, shout out to Beckerman. What's really cool, his childhood LCS and my childhood LCS were the same, but we didn't know each other.
What?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, Beckerman, I believe that was your very first raffle entry on our show here. Beckerman.
I wonder if you guys like cross paths. And
we very well could have been in the same store at the same time and just didn't know it.
You were going to grab an issue and he grabbed it for you. You're like, ah, damn it, that kid just grabbed it for me.
Yeah.
Whoever that guy was just took that issue.
More than likely, he was the kid looking at me going, who buys Wonder Woman?
He just didn't know. He's young. You can't blame him. He's just young. So he organizes all the Doombot capes.
Wait, now is this for my answer?
I believe this is for my question. That one actually might have been your question.
Okay, yeah.
Logan boops her nose. Boop. He tries to touch that booty. JP, I've clearly set you off. I'm sorry about that. He says, "Hubba hubba wowza."
Eric.
He gives her one across the face. Takes it down. He knew it wasn't real, says Old Wolf, and then stabs her. I think those are both the correct answers in my opinion. I think they say it in different ways, but I'm going to give it out that way to these two homies. Alan from Climbing Comics. Gosh, dang it, John. I'm going to give Jason points if he doesn't deserve them. Alan dominating tonight. Amazing work all around. But then we got Old Wolf coming in strong with his 4th overall raffle ticket entry.
Nice, Tony.
He sniffs her. That's an awkward moment. Logan brings out freaking sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their heads.
Laser.
I've just watched all those movies with my daughters now, and hilarious.
So great, dude.
So good. Now
even on a rewatch, they're so
all
great.
Walking around. I'm like, Dr. Evil is so good.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah.
Could quote those movies all day. Allow myself to introduce myself.
Wolverine offers a deal. He offers a deal. He does destroy that Doombot. He does. He strikes a match off her face. I mean, it's not surprising. He says, "Not a chance, sweetheart. New Warriors fans can't judge."
Okay, I get that.
Let's see. He says, "How you doing?" Like, "Who ya?" Like Joey on Friends. He says, "How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?" Asks her to shake that booty. See, look where you are, JP. Look what I've done to you. I've ruined you. Ryan, do you have any favorites in that whole epic diatribe?
I myself would have thought that he would have ordered a cocktail because she was serving drinks at that time, if you remember. I thought he would have ordered a cocktail and tipped her.
Yeah, opening and closing windows and stuff.
Yeah, he was doing that. But I'm going to go for 62 Lefty Blues with striking the match right off her face because he was probably ready to have a cig.
And JD says, ask Storm, "Can you show me how to do the robot?"
Oh, that would have been good.
Yes. Yikes. So 62 Lefty Blues with his 12th overall raffle entry.
Nice.
And that wraps it up for tonight, folks. We're back on Justin's channel in a week. We're going to be reviewing issue 149, another quite busy comic book cover, and talking it up. I'm not even sure who our guest is. I dropped my phone. It's down there somewhere. Justin, any knowledge who the person is we got next week?
So 149 is Morbius.
Is Morbius joining us? Okay.
But I thought we had him.
It is
okay.
It is Morbius. Yay.
It is Morbius. Yeah. 149.
Okay. And then we've got Avengers Annual 10 when we're back on my channel. We got Azores joining us for that. Then Haley on your channel for 150. And then I think Ryan was saying we got our break, and we'll be having ourselves over on the Morbius channel that week. So that's what we got coming up. We are nearing the very end. We potentially have one new issue that we added to the roster, because when I skimmed through this omnibus, I found a book that I didn't realize was included in here, because it's not even on the back cover, a black and white comic called Bizarre Adventures 27.
Okay, that relates to Phoenix.
It does.
Yes.
And I believe Justin's reached out to somebody that we're still waiting to hear back from for certain. So hopefully we'll hear some news. It sounds like Ryan is ready to fill in if that falls through at all.
Well, I am still back on with another appearance before this season wraps up.
Yes, we have you for Phoenix, the Untold Story, which is the finale of this omnibus.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be back for that. So,
by the way, we're about 2/3 of the way through this book. I was just counting the.
I feel like we're
issues.
Further than that, but maybe that's just my I feel like the finish line is.
We're about halfway. Look at that. That's where we're at right now.
But there is a bunch of supplemental material.
There are extras,
which is just we're not going to do a show on the supplements, but we might show some of those off in some of the Phoenix Untold Story or in the Bizarre Adventures discussion.
And you've got some longer stories too, like the Avengers Annual. That's longer than a normal size story too, so that's going to take up a chunk of pages there.
And I'm not sure how long those Marvel fanfares are, if they're normal size or if they're slightly larger. I don't remember, because we have 4 of those as well, 4 of the Marvel fanfare issues as well.
Yeah, because they did 2 stories in those issues. They did the main story, and then they had a smaller backup with a different character. And I'm sure they're not giving you the back; they're just giving you the X-Men portion of.
I would assume, but.
I would assume. So.
That's a great question. And we'll have to ask Verno, Brandon, Chet, and Read Your Comics. That's Daryl, right? We'll have to ask the 4 of them, because they're going to be joining us for those.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me back on. Once again, I said this when I was on, it's so nice to have a show to look forward to on Tuesday night. This feels like a book club to me. My grown-up friends read real novels and have book clubs and discuss them, and I have my comic friends, and we have our full frontal nerdity here on Tuesday nights, geeking out about X-Men. And I thank you for being kind to me in the chat and always being so gracious and welcoming to me here on the show as well. And I just hope you know how much people enjoy this show and look forward to it. And thank you for the work that you put into it to entertain us.
I mean, you could tell Justin and I clearly just show up here and play shenanigans. I mean, making the slideshow takes a little bit of time, but it's obviously well worth it for the amount of joy we get out of this.
Totally.
So thank you, Ryan, for showing up all the time,
always
playing with us in the chat, dropping those great. Those great dad jokes each week. And staying to answer the chat, crushing the chat.
I'm not a dad. It can't be a dad joke.
We can.
I'm missing one of the requirements.
The links for everybody are down below. Definitely some great content coming around. You got Justin doing the community shout out shows he's doing on Saturdays, where he's interviewing community members, discussing what their entry into comics, comic book origins. Who you got coming up on Saturday?
Got my man Roscoe this Saturday, and we're going to kick it off 2 hours earlier than normal. So anybody wants to catch it live, it'll be at noon, 12 Eastern instead of 2 o'clock. I'll be talking with Roscoe. Yeah. And by the way, another thing, tomorrow, we're actually going to be doing another movie review crew breakdown of X-Men 2, the movie.
See, I can't troll that one because I actually like that one.
That'll be on my channel. So if anybody wants to catch that, it'll be 9 o'clock tomorrow, 9 Eastern.
Okay, and then I'm on at 10 Eastern tomorrow, talking with my man at White Whale Comics, looking at the books from February, some great indies that we're going to discuss, and also Reign issue 2. So thanks everybody for coming. Ryan, anything you want to mention coming up? Anything you want to let people know?
This afternoon, I dropped a video, another one of my weekly comic book edition, so you can kind of see the back issues I've recently acquired. Most of them don't have overall themes, but this one did, and it's kind of appropriate. There's a big DC movie that is dropping in theaters this week, and I have a whole bunch of comic books related to the hero in that movie that I showed off today.
Nice.
But I do have some other feature videos coming, which will include some X-Men back issues that I've recently picked up as well, too. So you'll be seeing those in the future on my channel.
Nice.
I've been doing the back issue of the week, and that has been just amazing, the response I've gotten to that, which are YouTube shorts. So it's essentially I cram about 60 seconds worth of information about a book in this, and you can check those out. I do a series called Cover By with Cookie from Just a Little Podcast and Comics for Thomas, where we look at the A and the B covers and decide which one is the better. So we do that every other Friday. Our next one will be a Marvel book. No, I'm sorry. Our next one is this week, and it's a DC book tied into Batman. So
nice.
So check it out. Sub me up. I'll sub you back. Appreciate everyone that's been so kind and supportive of my channels and all the friendships I've gotten to make here.
Michelle.
Awesome. What's up, Michelle?
All right, I'm going to head out of here. Everybody have a great night, and we will see you back on Justin's channel next week.
Yes, sir.